Well, hello, Midlife Love Mastery members. I'm your coach, Jonathan Asley, and I'm so excited to be doing another Facebook Live. Today is Potpourri Friday, where we reach into the basket and share a nugget. Me and my nuggets. It's always about nuggets. And our topic today, can donkeys and elephants get along? Now, let me share with you how this came about and what it's really all about. So what you might not know is oftentimes when I shoot these videos, I literally come up with the idea 10, 15, 20 minutes beforehand. I don't create a script. I don't take notes. I just riff. And about 30 minutes before the call, I was talking to my assistant and I'm saying, Catherine, I'm like, I don't know what to talk about for Potpourri Friday. Do you got any ideas? And she goes, why don't you talk about asses and elephants? I go, what does that mean? And she goes, well, it means can Democrats and Republicans get along? And I go, well, I don't like saying asses. So she goes, why don't you use donkeys? So that's what we're going to talk about. Can Democrats and Republicans get along? I think this is a great topic to talk about, especially because I don't believe politics has been discussed in the dating realm as much as it has been in the last 2 years. I think it's been very prevalent conversation, and many of you might have already experienced things like if you listen. I just want to be candid. I'm moderate in this conversation, so I have no one side or the other. But they might say on the bottom of their profile in a dating app, say if you voted for someone, swipe the other way, or I'm looking for someone who voted this way. So. And I think it's an important conversation. But let me tell you why I think this is an important conversation. Because this really is a reflection of a person's values. How someone votes or which party they affiliate gives you a lot of insight into the person's values. Now, I want to be careful because I don't want to make judgment because I have my own prejudice in a certain way. So, And so I really want to be mindful of that. So I don't want to talk specifics. I really just want to draw attention to the fact that if someone is pretty staunch on one end of the spectrum of politics, the likelihood of that other person, or if that person that they're with is on the other end of the spectrum, I think it's going to be highly difficult if they're going to get along. Because really, if you're extreme on one end or the other, then that is a real reflection of your values. And I think it's an important conversation to have. And so this leads to something more. I just noticed this picture is off-centered. Thanks for letting me fix that. My mommy and daddy, someone asked about that earlier when they first got married. Okay, so this goes back to values. So what I want to share with you today are 5 important values that I think should be on the forefront of your mind when you're evaluating someone to be your boyfriend or girlfriend, for that matter. Okay? So the 5 values are centered around the following: politics, religion, health, money, and humanity. Let me repeat that. Politics, religion, health, money, and humanity. Now, you might have some different values that are important to you. Like, for example, one of my values that's hugely important is punctuality. If you know that, like literally when I do these Facebook Lives, if I say 5 o'clock, I am watching the screen 2 minutes ahead of time and I press the button right at 5 o'clock because punctuality is how I demonstrate respect. It's one of those core values for me. And I feel disrespected when someone says they're going to call at a certain time and they don't. Now, I might be a little anal retentive, so I'm going to own that, but it's one of my values. It's not a deal breaker for me, though. It can be certainly an irritant if I'm with someone who's habitually late, and we're going to have a talk, but it's not a deal breaker. I think these 5 things could be a deal breaker. These are core ones. So let's talk about politics. Politics, how you voted, again, if you're at the extremes, then chances are that's a reflection of your values on how the country is run, how people should be treated, so forth and so on. Religion, same thing. If I highly doubt someone who goes to church every day of the week and keeps their Bible with them is going to get along with an atheist. It's just a mismatch in alignment. Health. You know, here I live in Southern California. It seems like everybody's a vegan and human rights animal activists and everything else around the sun. And so I think health, which includes physical health, the way that you eat, mental health, all those things, are, you know, if someone is really rigorous and strict with their health habits, they're going to have a hard time dating someone who's at the other end of the spectrum. Money. 50% of divorces cite money as their primary reason for getting a divorce. So if you value money completely differently, you're going to have some challenges. And the last one is humanity. And what I mean by humanity, and this is a personal observation, I mean about being of service to your community. I'm talking about, really, it's about being of service. Do you treat people as, and for lack of a better word, as one collective consciousness, that we are all human beings on this planet and should be treated fairly and equally? Some people don't believe that way. It's a judgment here. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying, I think these are important values to have conversation. And certainly there's sub-values like punctuality and whatnot. Now, these might not be your 5 core deal breakers. I just think most deal breakers fall within those 5 in some way, shape, or form. So I think it's important to talk about that. Because certainly someone could have voted Democrat reluctantly. Someone could have voted Republican reluctantly. Does that mean they're not going to get along? No, not necessarily. I don't think it's one way or the other, but if someone is real staunch on one side and the other person's staunch on the other side, yeah, I think there's going to be some major issues. So, you know, the fact, and this idea that love will solve it all is a fucking crap of shit. Did that come out right? Crock of shit, excuse me. Compatibility ignited with love is what's going to make a relationship work. A relationship is all about compatibility. And I think it's hugely important that your values, and look at these 5 values and play with it for yourself and ask yourself how important they are to you when evaluating a potential mate. Hey, for coming up with this for the last minute, I don't think this was too bad of a video. I hope you do too. If you have some comments, please post right there, write something out. As always, if you have friends that you think could benefit from this group, send them to my website, jonathanasley.com. Have them sign up to Midlife Love Mastery. And as always, reach out to me. If you're interested in private coaching, reach out. Let's have a phone call. I will tell you, several members have reached out recently and have signed up for private coaching. I'm so excited. Literally 2 of them have met men literally right after our phone call, and they're so excited to be working with the coach at the same time they're beginning to date someone. So don't be surprised. Sometimes just making that effort is all the difference. So reach out. We can talk about whether or not private coaching is right for you. It is an investment, so I'm going to say that to you. And it's going to be work. It's going to take some effort. Love doesn't happen by accident. Actually, love just happens by being open. That's how love happens. A relationship takes effort, and I'm here to help you get on the right track and get relationship ready. My whole focus is about being relationship ready. Not only your own readiness, but being able to determine the other person's readiness. And these 5 values are an important part of my coaching program, and we'll talk about it in much more detail when you reach out to me privately so we can talk. As always, I'm going to send you off with a big, gigantic Jonathan Bear hug. Wishing you a super duper wonderful day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.